Hello and welcome back to the capital Wasteland. West from the MDPL-21 power station is the SatCom Array NN-03d. This cluster of towers are the largest of the SatCom arrays and are currently guarded by a group of raiders. Before heading over and culling the local wildlife, there are two much smaller locations we can go to first. Southwest of the towers is an abandoned tent, similar to those found at the military checkpoints. The bed can be slept in, so the occupant has either moved on or been killed, most likely the latter, as the tent has quite a few things you wouldn't want to leave behind if you could help it. Nuka-Cola, ammo, a Nikola Tesla skill book, and a bottle of Quantum. All very useful, very valuable items. Exiting the tent, we see the trio of towers dauntingly looking down on us.
Soon I will climb you and make you mine. Very soon.
Heading northwest from the abandoned tent, we see two run-down shacks. On top of one is a Nuka-Cola Quantum, which you can shoot down. There we go. And the other has the schematics for the shish kebab, 2 ammo crates, and a workbench which did not, I repeat did not, have a bottle cap mine. I know, practically unheard of. Now heading up the hill and turning right, we have a brief scuffle with the raiders and stumble across 2 marked graves and an open coffin. If we try to interact with the graves, we can see they're empty. The whereabouts of the contents are partially known, but as for the rest we can only guess. Perhaps we'll find out who or why this has been done. Let's begin with SatCom Array C. The door is locked, but it's nothing a whiz kid like me can't handle. Now inside and through the door just ahead, we encounter more raiders. All is quiet, but something tells me we'll be seeing more of them before we're through. Starting left, we immediately see 2 more coffins. Unlike the one outside, these still have their occupants inside. I cannot think of a reason as to why the raiders would have done this. For decoration, maybe? Not enough skeletons hanging from the towers, so they dug up some more. Could be. Continuing left, we find a box of sugar bombs, and then come to this door. On the other side, the raiders have set up beer bottles domino style, and have left a toy car that the player can use to set the bottles off. At least in theory. This really didn't work, and I was disappointed to say the least. The door at the bottom of the stairs leads into DB. Right now we're in DC, so at least 2 of the towers are connected via sub-level. We'll get to that in just a moment. Turning around and returning to the ground floor, we see a rather pleasant message above one of the toilets. Fun fact, the style of the writing belongs to one of the game's developers, a world artist named Nathan Porkypile. You too, buddy. You too. There's also a teddy bear smushed into the wall that I can assume was sitting in the toilet bowl taking a bath or something of that nature. A pugilism illustrated can be found on one of the toilets, but for some reason my one was on the floor by the bottom of the stairs. Not sure why. The last thing on the ground floor is the absurd amount of empty whiskey bottles covering the rug. According to the Fallout wiki, there are approximately 80 to 83 of them. How the raiders haven't died from alcohol poisoning or liver failure is nothing short of a miracle. With the ground floor cleared, we can take the stairs up. The next floor only has whiskey, and the one above has nothing other than the ladder to the outside. Out here we can see a makeshift bridge joining 2 of the towers together. I look forward to crossing that. Then we can take the stairs, go through the door, and climb the ladder to the satellite dish. As you can see, the dish has seen better days, but the raiders have covered several of the holes with wooden boards and sheet metal. Of all people, you think raiders would care a little less about health and safety. At the southwest edge of the dish is a scarecrow with a mini nuke on either arm, and just beyond that is a clear view of the other 2, much shorter towers, one of which has even more empty whiskey bottles, bringing the total to somewhere over 100. On to the next tower. Retracing our steps back downstairs and using the door from earlier, we enter into Tower DB.
Come on, boys. Go, Tower. You're dead.
With the waiting party taken care of, let's go over the loot. Keeping the wall to our right and circling counterclockwise, we find chems and teddy bears on the dining table, more chems among the lab equipment, and something else I think you're all going to enjoy on the other side of this boarded doorway. Now, without using console commands or glitching through, you can kind of make out something on the other side, but it doesn't really become clear until passing through. That's right, it's a giant teddy bear. Look at the size of this thing! The bear can be picked up, moved around, and even collected as your own, but the size of it can change depending on what you do. If you already have a bear in your inventory, or you add another one while carrying the giant one, the giant will shrink down once dropped. If you only have the giant bear in your inventory, drop it, pick it up, drop it again, it will shrink but still be larger than the average bear. And if you attack the giant bear before picking it up, it will remain giant no matter what. Now this door, geographically speaking, should be the entrance to the tower. But if we take a look outside, we see the door is boarded over, so this shouldn't actually open. Or if it does, we should see slits of light coming through the cracks. Opening said door, we see an endless void of nothing, or what appears to be nothing. Stepping through, we learn that it's actually a magic portal, and the exit is conveniently positioned in front of the next set of stairs. Up we go. The first floor doesn't have anything than strawberry jam, but on the second floor we find 5 sporks balancing on the handrail. Touching one or even stepping too close causes them to fly all over the place, so maybe see if you're fast enough and pick them up before they fall. And this brings us to my favourite room of all 3 towers. From left to right we find a super sledge, and just beside it is a chessboard. But this is no ordinary chessboard. Well, the board itself is nothing grand. As for the chess pieces, take a look at these. Travel-sized bottles of alcohol and miniature garden gnomes. There's also energy cells, but those are just ordinary. As you can see, the board is a little cramped, but by taking one, the rest decompress, if you will, and almost stand on their own little squares. In total, there are 16 gnomes and 12 assorted bottles of alcohol. And the best thing about these, other than the ability to claim them as your own, is their size does not change. No matter how many times you drop them, they will always remain the same. The final thing in the room is a first aid box. Then it's up the ladder to the outside, around the catwalk, back inside for a pack of darts, and then up the final ladder to the dish with the empty whiskey bottles we saw earlier. The dish literally has nothing other than junk, so let's cross the wooden planks to the final tower, pausing momentarily for those of you with acrophobia, and drop down the hatch into Tower A. Until reaching the second floor of this tower, the only thing we find is another, and final, group of raiders.
Just right for the taking. Yeah, tear 'em apart.
This is gonna be fun.
After taking care of them, we turn around and head back to the room we came through for Mentats, a 308 sniper rifle and 6 bullets. Heading down the stairs to the first floor, there doesn't seem to be anything down here, so let's head down again to the ground floor. Chems and frag mines is all there is, as well as the answer to, are raiders cannibals? Yes. Yes they are. And with that the towers are finished, but there is at least one last thing I would like to show you. On the eastern side of the area is a door. Now we've exhausted all of the tower's doors, so this must lead somewhere else, somewhere deep below the earth. Before we go inside, pause the video and tell me what you think we'll find in the comments below. Alright, let's open it. If your guess was somehow this, congratulations. For your reward, look up for 3 missiles. And there we have it, the SatCom Array NN-03d and the abandoned tent. If you've enjoyed the video, then consider leaving a comment, liking the video, sharing it with a friend, subscribing to see more, and enabling notifications to avoid missing any activity. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next adventure.